We're live.
We're live.
Hey.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. So I'm Risa.
And I'm Dawn.
And we're good friends having healthy conversations. So hopefully you are joining us today because today we are going to talk about, are you struggling with overwhelm?
Ooh, too many things happening.
Yes, too many things happening. And we have a wonderful guest, Lisa Carmichael. She's written a book. She has lots of information for us. And so we are going to bring her on and learn all about what she is up to. Hey, Lisa.
Hi, ladies.
Hey,
good to see you.
Thanks
to see you. Yeah, I'm so honored to be here. It's so exciting, and I love watching you two. You're just like sisters. You're
we have fun.
We do.
Yeah, you really are very, very fun. So thanks for having me.
We're glad to hear your wisdom. That's for sure.
Yes. People struggle with this overwhelm stuff all the time. So
I think it's getting to be, I think after the pandemic, I just feel that there are so many opportunities out there. And that's where kind of that overwhelm comes from. It's like that FOMO, fear of missing out. People just don't want to miss out.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Because I was going to ask you that. But let's get started with, tell us all the stuff you do. Because I know you do lots of different things. I know you've written a book. So tell us about all the different things that you're doing.
Oh gosh, I just like to stay busy. I did publish a book. I did that. Well, I joined ASEA. The funny thing with, am I allowed to say ASEA? I should have asked that first. Okay, when I joined ASEA as an associate, one thing I noted, I thought I was healthy. I thought, you know what, I'm good. How can I get healthier? And since then, I feel I've just gotten healthier and healthier and better and better. I had the best doctor appointment ever. And she's like, what are you up to? So what am I up to? I did publish a book, and I still, I take care of myself. I take time for myself. And about 2 years ago, pre-COVID, I was introduced to an entrepreneur group, and it was through the military. My husband's a veteran, and I was allowed to be in the group. And that really was my pivot point for me discovering how masterminds can really help other people and other business owners move forward. And one more thing that I want to share that I've been doing that I did it just yesterday. So I live in Minnesota, and it's very cold, and we're expecting. Well, just wait, Dawn. It gets better.
Are you from Minnesota originally?
Yeah. I grew up, and I grew up on a farm. Small town girl, had no self-esteem, no confidence, and the book actually helped me build my confidence and actually find myself. But anyway, so yesterday we have something called polar plunge. So it's so awesome. It was the 4th time I've done it, and this year.
Oh, I heard it's awesome for your body. It's like
just some of the amazing same benefits that we all want. Help with our metabolism, help increase brown fat, help with clarity. One of my friends, as she was leaving, she's like, I can't believe how much this helps me with my ADHD. So I was in there pretty long. I was in the water for like 5 minutes yesterday. So
what was the water?
What was that?
What was the temperature of the water?
You know what? I actually asked that question. So we all kind of thought it was about 32 degrees. So when so going in the morning, we actually scrape the ice off the top because the hole freezes overnight. So it is in the lake, and we can, the water's clear. You can look down and see the sand at the bottom. And there are people that are jumping in the water. Some of us slowly walk down a ladder. So a couple of people had birthday parties where they did a cannonball. They're very crazy, but it really is a health benefit. And there's a lot to be said about it. But let me add one more thing. With talking with overwhelm, it was really interesting how it was the third time I went in and I was like hyperventilating, like, ah, and they're like, Lisa, just slow down, breathe. And yeah, I was feeling overwhelmed. And I realized all of a sudden I started breathing properly and they were with me. And then somebody said, well, welcome. Glad you're here now. And I just took a step back and I'm like, oh my God, I wasn't here before, was I? I was so stuck in my head that I was so overwhelmed. Like, I was breathing incorrectly because they wanted me to breathe through my nose. In Pilates, I was taught to breathe through my mouth. And there were so many things going through my head that I wasn't fully present until I got out of my head. Yeah. Yeah. So great experience. If you come to Minnesota, I would love to have you join me. But I really think it's such a great learning.
We're the other girls.
We love you, Lisa, but no, it's a great thing. We've done baths before. I mean, I think that's
well, the guy that did the laughter challenge, Soren.
Yeah.
Soren does that.
We got to laugh.
In Victoria, Canada.
Mm-hmm.
I did the laughter challenge, and he does that. He does the jumping in the cold water on a regular basis. Yeah, and I know a lot of times when, as you're going through your health journey and you're getting healthier and healthier, and you're learning, a lot of times that's the next step when you get to a certain place.
Okay, good. What great validation. I love it. Thanks, Lisa. I love you guys.
We love you too. We're so glad you're here. So how did you get into what you're doing now? Like, how did you get into wanting to write the book and that?
Well, when I was in this entrepreneur group with the military, I would go to these meetings. So it was in person. We met once a week for 2 hours. And I would go to these meetings and I would do the comparison thing. I was comparing myself to all these entrepreneurs. There was one woman who was creating a fetal development device, and she was traveling around the world finding parts to create this. I mean, she was going to India and all over, and I'd be like, okay. And then there were like these two gentlemen that were changing the real estate industry as we know it. So me, I'm heading into the ladies' room during break and doing my breathing exercises. And I'm telling myself, I'm doing these self-affirmations, like, there's a reason for me to be here. I was accepted into this program. I had to be interviewed to be a part of it. And I'd go back in the meeting and I'd be smiling. Okay, let's make this work. What can we do? Because I'm an action taker. I believe we all need to take steps. They don't have to be big steps, but little steps get us closer to those bigger steps. So I'd go back in those meetings, and with their encouragement, I took what was working for me was my journaling. So I was writing daily affirmations, and I transcribed my personal journal. And I knew I had to have X number of words to create a 300-page book or manuscript. And that's what I did. And I just kind of learned along the way. The unfortunate piece is I had to reach out to so many different people to kind of put it together. So right now, I'm like, anybody that says they're writing a book, I'm like all over it. I'm like, contact me, because I get it. It's lonely. It's a tough baby to figure out. And I want to share what I learned with anybody and everybody. So I wrote the book. And the other thing that came out of the mentorship is I just felt like my life had changed, that I could create the same atmosphere for other entrepreneurs. So I'm basically duplicating what the military created, because, hey, if it works for the military, it should be able to work for anybody. So right. That's basically what I'm doing. And that's where it came from.
Right. Well, that's awesome.
Awesome. That's a lot of creative power. It sounds like you were learned to harness what you had and who you are, and turn that into something. You created something, which in turn is going to bless and be available for others.
Yeah.
That capacity.
Yep. Yeah.
Right.
Because not everything is for everyone. So, just using ASEA as an example, that I use it every day. It's part of my life, and it's making me be better at everything else in my life. And not everyone has to be selling it, but you do need people who use it. And I'm a user. I'm committed to using it every day.
Yeah. So it does a lot of cool things.
Yeah.
How, I know you're going to give us some tips for the overwhelm. So one question is like, what do people get overwhelmed with? Like, what are some of the various things that you see?
Well, I think we all try to bite a little bit more than we can actually chew.
Totally,
And
especially
yeah.
women. I find that a lot with women.
It's really tough to say no.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Be everyone,
And
everything for everybody.
yeah. But, at the same time, when you do make the decision to do something, it's okay. Just go for it. Because if you're stuck in your head, and I mean, I could have gotten out of that water immediately, but I chose to stay in it because I knew that if I hung in there, everything would be okay. And that's kind of what happens with overwhelm. Our brains, we just start overthinking, and then that's how we get stuck. That's how we get stuck in our heads. And that's no fun.
Yeah. So what can help us get unstuck? What's
I was thinking about that. So for me personally, what's helped me get unstuck is journaling. And so I've been journaling for years, and it's as simple as picking up one of those 25-cent spiral binders, and I always get black. Oh, there you go. Yeah. And I just journal every single day. And it just helps me clear my mind, kind of unclutter, and just help me focus, what do I really want to focus on? So journaling has been instrumental, as well as meditation. So calming myself with the quiet thoughts, and not having to feel like, I'm always solving a problem. And then the second one is self-care. I am so all about self-care. So I'm my number one advocate. You are your number one advocate. If you don't take care of yourself, no one else will. And I learned that from my son, because he's on the autism spectrum. And I was told that I had to be, as his mom, I had to be his number one advocate. And so it really made sense to me. I mean, yeah, I had to be, and I still am. But I also realized that if I didn't take care of myself, I wasn't going to be able to advocate for him. So self-care is just huge. So I am that mom that I feel like I've arrived. So it is important for me to get my monthly facials. It's important to get pedicures. It's important to go on vacation. And I no longer think of that as a luxury, but it's not an option to push it off. That self-care is just so huge, and good things come when you allow that to happen and come through in your life. And then the third piece is gratitude. So I am a big advocate of gratitude. And if you follow me on Instagram, you will see me post gratitude every single day. So when I was writing my book, I had a lot of gratitude in my heart, and that's one of the principles in my book. So every day around 10 a.m. Central Time, I will post where I'm at and what I'm grateful for. And I've been doing this for 3 years, and it's as simple. Yeah.
That makes a big difference. I've gone like in and out of that, like, I'm being consistent, then something happens, then you get inconsistent. So it's staying consistent in that, because that really does shift your whole thinking. I got to see, have you heard of what's the happiness advantage, Sean Aker?
Something like that. Yeah.
Aker, I think. And I got to hear him in person, and he talked about how they've done studies, like when you start your day with that, and you write what you're grateful for and why. Really important to write why.
And why.
It shifts your whole thinking, and it helps you have a different day than
Yeah. It raises your energy. It changes that energy. Like, I'm depressed. I'm not as good as Dawn. I'm not as cute as her. And instead, I am so grateful that you guys are, allowed me to be on your program. So it's all about gratitude, and it's just a shift. It's just, where do you want to be? Do you want to be, in that negative, or do you want to be in the positive? And that's the next piece, is that, surround yourself with positive people. And that's what's really made the change for me in this mastermind group, is that we are really positive. I mean, we all know that there are things that we struggle with, but our choice is that we're looking towards solutions.
Right.
That's a hard one to get your husband to do, though,
I just find that, some husbands will move with you on that train, and some, they're not there yet. And so you need to go do your thing.
And if they're not, you just need to tell them.
Yeah.
That's, I'm finding last week, my mom didn't say thank you to my husband for clearing the snow off the car. And he came in and said, she just is not very grateful. And I was like, well, like mother, like daughter, I'm really not that grateful either. I mean, if I think you should clean the sidewalk off, then I don't really think to thank you for doing that, because I'm in my mind, like, you should be doing that anyway. And he was like, well, but I say thank you. Don't I say thank you? I'm like, no, we don't actually say, we think we are, but we're not. And then he began to, like you said, do it, be consistent and do it. And even this morning, he wrote a text to my son, thank you for taking the trash out. So just, if you tell, I was bold enough to say, no, you don't.
But also own that,
right.
See, where my husband says thank you for virtually everything.
All the time.
And I realized that I wasn't doing that enough. Like, I would sometimes, but not as much. And so I've really shifted that. And so it really,
and his happy zone is pretty high.
Mm-hmm. It really is.
That's awesome. But you know what? It's a conscious effort.
It is.
That you really have to remind yourself of what you're grateful for. I mean, you can be grateful for water. You can be grateful for the bed that you sleep in. Mm-hmm. The air that we breathe. There's so much to be grateful for. And, that simple challenge that I challenge myself to do has, I've got a following on Instagram that people are watching me, and they're watching me make sourdough bread. They're watching me. I mean, it's crazy, but
awesome.
Another hobby. And then the last one is just that belief, having the belief that, that what you are up to, especially like with your business, that you've created something that is going to make a difference in their lives. Because if you don't believe in yourself, it will show. It will definitely show. So when you believe, there's another piece of that too, is that you have to trust in what you believe in. So you might believe in something, but if you don't trust what you're believing in, that's going to show as well. So I think that belief is actually a 3-piece process, where you know what you believe in, you trust what you believe in, and then you allow all the good things to come in. So you're just like, you're stepping back, and it's like, it's allowing the good that you want instead of looking for the bad.
Right.
And and that
knowing what, trusting what, and then allowing it to come in.
Yeah.
So the thing is, there's in the big part about belief is what you're also now then doing is consistently focusing on the thing that is good, and away from, oh, it's not, or I can't, or I shouldn't, or the problem is, or the issue is, or never has been, or whatever those things we say, is to in the being grateful. It's like, I do know I am alive. I am breathing. I am living. I'm going to have lunch today. Taking it to the simple and trusting in that thing that is going to happen, that is true, like trusting that it's true.
Mm-hmm.
And then allowing that to happen. It's almost as if you see it happening, then it comes to be.
Yeah, you nailed it, especially with the visualization. Yeah, so true.
The negative piece and expanding the positive side of things.
Yep. We have no room for negativity, right?
Oh, I know. It's so
She's
that's
not
so
grateful.
I know it's so easy for that to come in, but you have to
It is.
constantly
It is.
at it until it just becomes who you are.
Right.
And that's just what you do. And so then you've learned to, like, with those things come in, you learn how to just respond and push them out.
Right. So I'm actually going to be going on a retreat, and one of the lessons or homework is that we are to set aside 5 minutes a day for complete quiet. So that's been really helping with the overwhelm, because so many times my mind wants to solve the problem, and I think it's my responsibility to solve that problem. And that's where that overwhelm comes in. And when we can take a step back and just allow what we believe and what we trust in, it's like a shift, a complete shift. So yeah, I'm going to Italy.
Italy.
I thought you were to say down to the mountain house.
Where in Italy?
Florence. So my daughter started school today. She's studying abroad. She left last week. Today's her first day, so I'm dying to hear how her day went.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I found a retreat, a friend of a friend. It's a writer's retreat. And so I'll spend a week on that retreat, and then I'll spend a week with my daughter. So I'll be in Rome for Easter.
Oh, fun.
How precious.
Eat some yummy food for us.
Yeah.
It's like the best food. And when we went long time ago, I actually lost weight while on a trip over there, because you do so much walking.
You
walk your feet
up.
up.
I thought maybe from all the wine you drank.
No, because I'm not that doesn't really agree with me. It just doesn't agree with me. It doesn't do for me what it does for other people, but I'm all about the food.
Yeah.
Like, the food, give me the food. So I'm a great designated driver. I'm great.
Me too. Yeah.
Other people can enjoy that, but but just enjoy it all. The
it's gonna be
everything. Oh, that's so exciting. So how can people get in touch with you? What's the best way for people to get in touch with you?
I would, you can reach out to me. You can follow me, like I said, on Instagram. So it's the same as my website. My website is my name with my middle initial. So it's lisarcarmichael.com, or you can go to Instagram, Lisa R. Carmichael. And if you go to my website, I do have a free download. And the download is great, because what I did is I put the 7 secrets that worked for me when it came to sales, because I feel like a lot of women, a lot of entrepreneurs, they get so far and then they realize they don't, it's not working, and then they give up, and then they get overwhelmed because they don't know what they don't know, and they're trying all these different things. So the download is really helpful, and it was really key for me, and it's just my secrets that helped me with my success. So
very awesome. So then they can get your website, right?
Yeah, just go to my website. If you want, you can sign up for my email series. But stay in touch. And I am a very approachable person, and I always believe that we're here to give value. We're here to help other people. So
you are. Well, thank you so much.
You are an inspiration, Lisa.
Yes.
I mean, it's just great to see. I mean, that you started and it just kind of came, and that things worked out, and you just listened and you grew, and you took what you did on a regular basis and turned that into more of who you were. I mean, it wasn't what you didn't have to come up with something new. It's who you were. So
exactly. Yeah.
Beautiful to hear. And then the challenges along the way, and that you've given us some tips on how to, you've been to the other side, and I went to the other side. So I'd like to hear how you did it. That's how we reach back and help bring us along.
Oh, I love it.
Thank
well
you
said.
So much. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
So if you guys are watching the replay, make sure you hit #replay and ask questions in the comment, and reach out to Lisa and get her free download.
Yeah, we'll have to do that
now. Keep up with her. Yeah, we're going to go do that right now.
Sounds good. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Ask questions. Yep.
Yeah, great. Thank you. Thank you. So we're over and out. Have a great rest of your day, and thanks for watching, everybody. Bye.
See you next time.
All right. Bye-bye.